And even before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Bharani Kumar. I have 20 years of experience approximately, and I hold a master's degree from IIT and I hold a master's degree from Indian School of Business. So if you all are wondering on what is this guy from Indian School of Business and IIT doing here, and this guy also wants to teach us AI for doctors program supposedly. So let me give you a brief, right? It's a varied background that I have. I worked with HSBC, then I worked with Indian Tobacco Corporation, then I worked with Infosys, and the last company with which I worked was with Deloitte. And when I worked with all these companies, I learned about a lot of things, right? That AI, artificial intelligence, is not confined to any specific industry. Okay, you can use AI, you can apply AI to majority of the industries. And thankfully for me, I worked on a lot of life sciences healthcare projects as well. Okay, I worked alongside a lot of doctors, a lot of physicians, and we built a lot of amazing AI projects. So as part of today's discussion, I wish to explain about the kind of projects we have been doing for different customers. Vis-a-vis, I also want to introduce myself to you all. So let's get to this, and let me quickly share my screen and once again introduce myself. So friends, my name is Bharani Kumar Depuru. I happen to be CEO and founder of two companies. One is called as AI Spry, which is into the space of AI services. Another is 360DigiTMG, which is into training services. And I have close to, as I've told you, 20 years of experience, having worked with different companies in different parts of the world. We started our own company in the space of two things, AI services and projects. I'm also a visiting faculty at Indian School of Business, and I'm Chief Technology Officer, co-founder at Steta, which is a startup in the space of life sciences health. The founder of the company, Steta, is Dr. Ilan Kumaran. He's a CEO and he's also a doctor. And we both were batchmates at ISB. All right. Now, if I were to talk about ISB ranking in India, yes, if I were to do that, ISB has been ranked #1 in India and has been ranked #2 in Asia and number 26 position it is in a global setting. And I'm extremely privileged that I'm visiting faculty at Indian School of Business. I've been teaching there since 2019. And most recently, as recent as April 2024, I started teaching at London Business School as well. That's in short about my so-called boring profile. And let me also tell you that I keep doing a lot of things. For example, there was a session conducted by Telangana government. Global AI Summit 2024 curtain raiser event was organized, and somewhere you should see my name. Yeah, that's my name, Bharani Kumar. Somewhere I should be there as well in the photos. Let me see if I can pull out. So these are all doctors, by the way. All these people who are appearing here are owners of a few hospitals, and a few people are working in UK. This is okay. Many people photos are there. Where am I? Yeah, that's me. I'm just searching for myself. That's me, by the way. Okay, that's one thing. Same thing, Rich. You know, mm, I was called to this event alongside the IT secretary And then we had a lot of doctors. Dr. Sujoy was there from Apollo Hospitals, Apex Cure. These were the doctors, right? Dr. Rakesh from AIG, Dr. Ramesh from LV Prasad Eye Hospital. Right? The reason why I'm showing you all these things is just to give confidence that I'm working closely with the medical fraternity, right? Dr. Venkat, Dr. Samatha, Abhiram, and all of them. And then, a year back, I was invited to CII Medclave, and that's Ilan, Dr. Ilan Kumaran, that's me, And this was posted by me a year back. I was just trying to, pull out some details so that I give you a sense that I'm working in the space of life sciences healthcare. By the way, Ilan is chairman of this committee, CII, a healthcare chapter. And then Indian School of Business also, they have conducted an event a week back, about 2 weeks back, basically. And I was invited there to be a moderator for one of the conversations. And alongside me, we had Dr. Ashutosh, Dr. Ritu, Anmol, me, Bharani Kumar was also there. And a lot of government officials were there. This was led by Professor Sarang Dio from ISB. Professor Sarang Dio happens to be WHO, not director. Let me see. I might be wrong, so I want to correct my thoughts as well. So, has been appointed as a member of WHO. Yeah, member of WHO committee, basically, tuberculosis thing. Anyways, these are a few things where I believe I can associate myself with life sciences healthcare, right? And way back in 2019, I worked as a chief data scientist for one of the healthcare startup, which worked in the space of triple negative breast cancer. So all said and done, let me walk you through what is it that AI for doctors is all about. Why do you think AI for doctors is very relevant today as we stand? So the main reason is you have a lot of data. You have healthcare data, administrative data, insurance data, hospital maintenance data, clinical data, all sorts of data. You have a lot of pharma data, you have life sciences data, you have data everywhere. Okay. And there are a lot of things happening when it comes to Internet of Things, Internet of Things in the space of healthcare as well. You have Google Glass, you have chip in a pill, right? Organ on a chip, organs are grown on a chip. You have healthcare smart devices, iBeacons, sensors in drug delivery devices they are putting. We are also working now, we are embarking on working with Pathcare labs. They collect the samples, from different places, and then they take it to Pathcare labs and then they test it over there. So all those things we are doing. Internet of medical things. Okay, data, once again, it's all related to data, would be a very big market. Here are a few quick insights about what might happen in the space of life sciences healthcare. Okay, and a lot of things, we are working with a lot of hospitals, but these are not those things. These are all a few snippets on what AI can do. Breast cancer, right? Pathology scans. If you have histopathology images, you'll be able to scan and figure out what's going wrong there. Is a tumor benign or malignant and things of that kind? You'll be able to figure out whether you have diabetes or not. There are a lot of healthcare startups which are also collaborating with AI services companies. Like Accenture has done an acquisition basically of one of the consulting firm, which is into life sciences healthcare. So in that way, a lot of acquisitions are happening. Okay, you have sports related thing. You'll be able to predict whether a sports person will have an injury or not. You'll be able to figure, detect AFib things. Your Apple Watch also does it, basically. A lot of things. Physician burnout, right? How many doctors are getting overburdened? That is also something that you can figure out. So there are a lot of use cases in this way, but I'll talk about a few where I was personally involved so that it gives you some confidence. We did a project for Malaysian government. Okay. What did we do for Malaysian government? Um, Malaysian government wanted to embark on healthcare 4.0. There is something called as healthcare 4.0. Malaysian government wanted to embark on that. And then um, people asked our company to be part of this journey. We worked with another company here. This is me. I mean, it's very blurred, but if you zoom it and see, that's me over there. So here what happens is if you're a patient and the moment you walk to the hospital, if you stand here, it will quickly recognize who you are, and then it will, generate the admission bill, so on and so forth. Admission form would be generated and all. Then you go and meet a physician. When the conversation happens between a doctor and a patient, okay, this conversation is recorded on a Bluetooth so that the conversation gets recorded in a digital format. Name of the person, patient, what kind of diseases the patient has, what kind of medication is given to the patient. All these details will be digitally recorded. Okay. Otherwise, typically the conversations get lost, right? So what can you do using this? You can figure out what kind of diseases patients might get in winter season, in summer season, in rainy season. Okay. What are the additional diseases that people might get? You'll be able to get into that prediction zone. The moment you have data which is recorded, how many times is the patient visiting in a year? Can we do some proactive vaccination? Many things are possible, right? Given that data. Once this consultation with the doctor is done and once all the details are recorded digitally, you go and stand before another counter where it will again recognize who you are using the camera, and then it will generate a bill for you. You can pay the bill using whatever mode, cash, card, etc. Then you'll have medicines which gets dispensed. You take those medicines and walk away. Simple. Okay. This is how we built a solution in this space. Then I told you, right, that I worked as a chief data scientist on one of the companies, healthcare startups. Uh, Not a full-time job, of course, right? I was consulting for them for a few hours every day. Okay. Here, if you go and visit say, a physician, then doctor might say that I feel that there are traces of cancer. Then doctor will ask you to go and consult a radiologist. Radiologists would take your DICOM images, X-ray images, and then they might take those images and then try to figure out whether you really have cancer or not. But in most cases, it is suspicious. So the doctor would ask you to go and meet a pathologist. What would pathologists then do? They will prick a needle and take small portion of tumor, and then they will either put it on the microscope by taking the slide of it, or they might take an image and review the image. And then they might figure out whether you really have cancer or not. If yes, should it be a surgical removal of tumor, or should it be organ transplantation? Should it be chemotherapy? Should it be immunotherapy? Or is a cancer in advanced stage? Then how long would a patient survive? All these details, they'll come to me. Right? But usually radiologists, pathologists consolidate the report and give it to oncologists who would then give you the further guidance. Here, what we have done is we realize that when we deal with images, certain radiologists might go wrong. How do you counter that? We countered that by building a system where it will take the images and it will figure out whether that image is benign or malignant. Dense calcification, benign, dense calcification, malignant. In that way, there were quite a few classes, 10 classes. Okay, this is one thing that we have done with radiology images. Then with pathology image, each image was 1.5 GB big, whole slide images, right? So we had to split them into tiles, and each tile we had to analyze. These kind of images of this size won't open on your regular software. You'll have softwares coming with machines such as Leica, right, which can be used. Anyway, so that is what we have done. A few other projects that we have accomplished in the space of life sciences healthcare are one project which I didn't mention here was for AJ Hospital in Thiruvananthapuram. They had a requirement for us to forecast how many patients might come into each of the specialties and how many patients might come into emergency ward, forecasting the future. The moment you do that, you can determine how many nurses you need to have, how many administrative staff you need to have, how many doctors you need to have in each of the shifts, in emergency department and in various other departments, hepatology, so on and so forth. Okay. Another project that we have done is for Rela Hospital, where clearly Dr. Ilan's direction was that we want zero bounce rate. Whenever patient goes and asks at the counter whether medicines are there or not, we don't want our people to say we don't have medicines. Never. First thing. Okay. Second, we also don't want to overstock. If I overstock, if the drugs reach expiry, I need to throw. Or if the drugs are closer to expiry and if I return, I get less money, which will be refunded. Here, we built forecasting models. We looked at how many vital drugs, how many essential drugs, how many desired drugs exist in each of the specialties. What is a stock reorder point? Certain drugs should not fall below a certain point. Okay, so you'll have to figure out all those different aspects. And then we need to predict, forecast on what will be the quantity of drug that would be needed week on week, month on month, so on and so forth. Then we built a generative AI solution. Okay. So what happens is if you move the people between different wards or different departments, you need to follow protocols, processes. And usually the nursing staff or healthcare professionals, sometimes occasionally they forget all the procedures that have to be followed. Could be because of huge demand, maybe they forgot, maybe there is attrition, new people are frequently joining, so they are not trained sufficiently because of various reasons. So we told to this specific hospital that, don't you worry, we will take your hospital process documents and we will take an application which is trained on medical literature. You have ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is trained on internet data, Wikipedia data, Reddit data, then Common Crawl, etc. But here, you cannot take that data because it's not trained on medical literature. So we chose a medical literature bot. We have taken the hospital data. We have fine-tuned it. We have trained it properly. Then, after training it properly, we have started using the model. And whenever they are moving patients from one ward to another, one department to another, they just need to type a question, or they can talk. I mean, they can talk over voice-based solution, and then they get a response on what process has to be followed. That way, we are making their life easy and simple. They will also not forget anything. You can also explore Stetup bot. It's there on stetup.com, stetup.ai. I mean, just type Stetup, sorry. And you'll be able to figure out, right? Then we have done another project for Dr. Reddy's. This project was related to automatically counting how many vials and how many pre-filled syringes are manufactured every day. For example, okay, this is how it looks. So you'll be given a username and password, you log in and you browse your files, upload the files. I think it was a glitch maybe. Okay. Then these, basically vials, pre-filled syringes are automatically counted. The moment you put it there, on top you'll have CCTV, it will take a photo, and all the vials, pre-filled syringes are automatically counted. Information is stored in the backend database. Then we built a generative AI solution on top of that. If you ask questions from any corner of the world, questions such as, how many vials did I manufacture in the last 6 days? How many pre-filled syringes did I supply to the northeastern belt of India? It will answer, it will respond. Then we built a solution which is embryo classification. Of course, people who don't have kids go for some assisted reproductive technique, and IVF is very famous, in vitro fertilization. You take sperm from male, oocyte from female, fertilize outside to form embryo. Then you take 5 days of embryo image and figure out whether the blastocyst is happening properly or not. Okay. And are the cells getting multiplied on a timely fashion or not? As opposed to manually looking at, as opposed to manually embryologists looking under the microscope, you just upload the images and our solution will assess all these 5 images, time-lapsed images, and then it will give you a score, viability score. And only if the confidence is high, you do the implantation, which will lead to success. If many people are getting success in less number of cycles, word of mouth, many people will come. You can also charge a premium. So these are a few things that exist, right? And here I wish to now talk about a few things about the program. Program, we understand a lot of healthcare professionals will be joining. So the program is planned for 40 hours duration. All these 40 hours will be instructor led, where you'll be learning about basics of AI, and we'll be learning all these use cases that I've shown, right? We'll be doing one use case in the space of forecasting, one use case in the space of prediction, one use case in the space of object detection, one in the space of image classification, and since a lot of people are nowadays talking about generative AI, you'll also learn about generative AI. Okay. And for handling all these things, you need to know project management methodology to handle these projects, right? So I'll teach you CRISP MLQ, which is a methodology used to handle the projects end to end. Throughout, we'll also talk about ethical aspects. Okay, because it is very important in healthcare. We'll talk about explainable AI. As opposed to just predicting that embryo image, there's 90% probability that it is, say, morula good or morula bad, or 8 cells good or 8 cells bad. If I just give you some probability score, you might not have confidence, or doctors might not have confidence. But if explainability is built into that, suddenly you'll start seeing good results. As opposed to just giving that 90% probability score, it will also highlight certain portions of the image which led to this decision making. Okay, that aspect. And also, one of the prime thing would be talking about data security aspects. Okay, and every day from Monday to Saturday, Sunday will be off, we will be connecting from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, this is how we will go on with our journey. And on a few of the days, that will be Sundays, we will plan for master class by experts. Master class by people who are working in healthcare AI. People who are working in the space of AI in healthcare. This will also help you get some connection, right? Some industry connect. Because eventually, if you want to apply for a job, obviously it has to go through that. Plus, you'll also have assignments. And every session is recorded, by the way. You'll be given learning management system access. Okay. And you'll have access for lifetime. Say you're busy. You went out. You were busy at your work. Don't you worry. Session is recorded. Go through whenever you find time. Okay. So you'll have lifetime learning management system access. And you'll also get a certificate from us of program completion. If you also want to work on a project, do let us know. We will allow you to work on a project, and also you'll get project completion certificate. Okay, if you complete it. And our international journals, our projects usually get published on a lot of international journals, right? British journal, etc., etc. So when we publish, we'll let you know if you worked on that project, and if you explicitly want to be part of this, research publication. If you want your name to be added, do let us know. We'll be more than. Okay, and one more very important thing is jobs. If at all, okay, I'm not saying that everyone wants to switch jobs, but if at all someone wants to switch jobs, do you know what? We have a lot of companies, Deloitte, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, every company, IT service-based company also has verticals like banking, financial services, insurance, life sciences, healthcare analytics, FMCG. In that way, there'll be a lot of industries. They usually prefer people with life sciences, healthcare knowledge and coupled by AI to work in that vertical. Because the domain knowledge, the 5 years, 4 years, 6 years knowledge that you have gained, I or anyone else for that case from non-life sciences healthcare background will not be able to relate until unless you put in your heart and soul into that project, start learning in and out, yeah. But you people would be absolutely preferred. I know a lot of doctors who are working as chief strategy officers also in a lot of healthcare companies. Startups in the space of healthcare is just mushrooming. That's what I wanted to say. And if someone wants to become an entrepreneur in the space of AI in healthcare, we don't mind supporting you all, because we also keep getting a lot of projects from a lot of hospitals. We are in talks with the Loris Labs. The most recent life sciences healthcare client is Loris Labs. And there are also a few hospitals in Kolkata, Chirnak Hospital, if I'm not mistaken. We are working with them. We are working with a few children's hospital. We are almost in the advanced stages of discussion with the Rainbow Hospitals, etc. So all these things also, whenever we complete that project, we'll let you know. Even when we start that project, we'll keep you posted. Just in case you feel that, hey, I want to be part of that, absolutely you can, right? And also we will be using auto ML, auto machine learning tools, so that you need not worry about coding, right? Auto ML works on no coding logic. At least for a few, we'll show you how you need not write any piece of code and yet accomplish the business problem. At this juncture, I would not ask doctors to learn coding, not needed. Okay, everything which was being done using coding, people are doing it now automatically. So don't really worry about the coding aspects. All right. So I'll stop here and take your questions. Yes, please. Any question that you have, feel free.
Good evening, sir. Harshad here.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Arshad. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thanks for asking. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I'm well.
So, for an pharmacy professional who did B Farm Bachelor's in Pharma with MBA, Masters in Business Administration, how it helps like in day to day life,
Okay.
in the job perspective. Could you please?
Sure. So in a pharma company, you have to, okay, let me see if I can take this example. I didn't put it here. Okay. Let me create a new sheet and then. So there are two projects which we have done, by the way. Let me quickly show you that. One is in the space of biologics in Dr. Reddy's, by the way. That's a pharma company, so I'm taking that example. We built this solution where you can automatically count vials and pre-filled syringes. So you can use AI to automate certain aspects, right? Number one. Number two, we built a pharma bot for one of the customers where they wanted to understand what are the medicines which are regulated by the government when it comes to pricing, what are the medicines which are not. Okay. And very frequently there are those changes done by IMA, etc. Right. And he was saying that, you know what, the changes are happening so fast that we are unable to keep a trace of it. Can you build a solution and give to us? So we built a bot. Behind the scenes, we are every week training that on the literature which is available on MLA, IMA, etc. Whenever a specific drug is moderated, etc., they'll come to me. Third thing, pharmacy, in any pharma company, after you manufacture the medicines, you have to supply to the different people in different places. Biological E Limited is also our client. So what we have done for them is, for Biological E Limited, we forecasted on how many drugs or medicines or vaccines should be distributed to different corners of the South Indian belt. Because every medicine, every drug, everything will have an expiry date. If you are distributing it to different locations, which are yours, you don't want those to be left like that. You want to know exactly what will be the demand. Okay. So if you know exactly what will be the demand in different regions, you can transport those many drugs or medicines to those different places. Another thing is in the space of biologics, right? There was this particular place where they were growing bacteria. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you all know. From this bacteria, they were taking the excreta of bacteria, and this excreta of bacteria was getting, induced into antibiotics. They were getting protein and they were putting it into antibiotics. There were 160 parameters like temperature, pressure, so on and so forth, which has to be monitored and maintained. Even if a single parameter goes wrong, entire lot will be put down the drain. So 1.25 to 1.3 crores worth of money will go down the drain. And we built a prediction model there, which will look at all these parameters and it will predict whether the final protein that you get will be of good quality or not, or will it meet the requirements or not. If I can upfront predict that, hey, something is going wrong in the system, your batch processing might go wrong, then people might quickly intervene and fix it. So also in pharma industry, you'll have a lot of regulations, processes which have to be followed. Every now and then when you work, you might have a lot of doubts. You might have doubts on what formulation gives you a stable output. What combinations and what kind of clinical trials might give you success, a blockbuster drug, maybe. In that case, also you can use. Finally, we have done a project while I was working with Deloitte for Novartis, where we have taken all these clinical trials from clinicaltrials.gov website. And after taking all these clinical trials, we did text mining and NLP on that to figure out what could be the prime reasons for clinical trials failing. And thereby, we built a prediction model to predict whether a clinical trial will fail or succeed. Okay, using various things. Who is the principal investigator for a clinical trial? That aspect also was considered. These are the various possibilities, and possibilities are endless. Harshad,
That's brilliant, sir. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. One person has this question, they put it on the chat. I'm working in healthcare, how can I upgrade? And all these are the use cases. Without AI, your edge in the market will reduce. AI is everywhere. Without our knowledge, it's coming in. It is always better to learn and surf the wave, right? You surf the wave. AI is picking up, AI will be here. So it's always good to know AI, and always it'll be better for you to start looking at applications of AI. AI can automate a lot of things. AI can reduce the manual effort. AI can reduce the human intervention. Basically, it can do the things faster for you. And AI can never be a replacement for anyone. AI will only be a supplement. It will be an assistant. So use it as an effective assistant. And when we talk about Gen AI solutions, I'll also show you how effectively you can use Chat GPT to address a lot of your issues. Okay. And another question is from Meenakshi. Is this the same as certificate course in data? No. Course in data science, which 360DigiTMG offers, has a lot of AI stuff in it, a lot of programming, etc. Here, you will not have anything of that kind, right? It's purely 40 hours focused on healthcare, AI in healthcare only. Okay, how can you use AI, and what are the kind of business problems which can be solved? Purely it will be related to that. Any other questions, doctors, healthcare professionals, pharmacists, dentists? Feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer.
Barney Kumar, sir, one more question from
Yeah,
Harsh.
yeah.
So, after if we enroll into this course, so what kind of jobs do we get if we are not entrepreneurs, if we are not owning any hospital or healthcare industry or any pharma company? So, if I want to work as a under one pharma company, I want to work for a hospital which uses AI. So, what kind of jobs and what kind of roles that we get in this industry?
So to answer that, let me go here and let me type this. Infosys, we all know that Infosys is an IT-based company, sure, right? Majority of y'all at least. Now, if you look at what are the industries that it operates in, I'm pretty sure you will have something related to life sciences, something related to healthcare, right? So you will be the person who knows AI, and you are the person who also have domain knowledge of pharma. So you'll fit into life sciences, healthcare vertical. Let me see Deloitte Industries. Every company, for that case, which majority of the companies, I would say, which are into services based business, they have all these things. Look at life sciences, healthcare. Again, within healthcare, within life sciences, you will have different other things. Okay. So you can absolutely apply for jobs in this space, and you people will be more preferred. Anyways, you know that you'll be working in the space of pharma, or you'll be working in hospitals, right? But you can apply for these roles also, and you'll be considered for the roles which will be called as AI in pharma, AI analyst in healthcare, right? Data scientist in hospital industry or hospital administration. In that way, there are different roles which are available, but all you will do in each of those roles is that you identify a business problem, you supply your domain knowledge, which only you have, mind you, yeah? Only you have that extensive knowledge. And then you solve business problems. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir, that's perfect. So for this, sir, is there any coding required? Because we are completely, I mean, I am completely from diversified background where we have not gone through any coding and this one. So as you said, there is no coding or minimal coding. So how much coding is expected?
Um, See, we are using coding as a means to solve a business problem. Okay, that's point number one. We are not going to learn complete core coding at all because there are a lot of auto ML, auto EDA, automation related Python libraries. And to help you answer, maybe some maximum 5 hours of brief exposure to this programming language just to understand how the UI or user interface looks like, where you can type things like if you type 1 plus 1 and click on enter, you'll get 2. Right? So those kind of basic things we will anyways train you on. Having that basic knowledge is good enough. But if you, in your personal capacity, if you want to learn more, we'll give you 20 hours of Python pre-recorded videos as a compliment.
Sure, sir.
But
Thank you.
basic is good enough. We need not get into the depth. Should
Right,
not,
sir.
because we are here to solve business problems, not write code.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Hi, Dr. Rajeshri, do you have any question?
Yes, sir. Good evening. This is Dr. Rajeshri, sir.
Hi.
Sir, sorry, I could only join now because I had been to some functions.
No problem.
Anyway, sir, it's nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. I don't know if it is answered earlier in the session. I just want to know, sir, how AI can be. I am a general practitioner. How
Okay.
can I use this, apply this AI in my general practice?
When you say general practice, um, okay, let me help you understand. Let me probably, share my screen and help you understand on what are a few use cases that I have explained. So we have done project for Malaysian government, right? That is what I was talking about. And when we did that project, we started digitally recording the details of the conversation between the doctor and the patient was getting digitally recorded. And when it was getting digitally recorded, we were storing the data in the database. Oops. Within the database, we were having tables. And within the table, patient name, patient age, right? What kind of conditions patient has, symptoms, what interventions or medication was given to the patient. All these things will be digitally recorded. If all these things are digitally recorded, in fact, it is getting digitally recorded there in Malaysia in a few hospitals, then you can do a lot of analytics, such as a lot of patients have visited our hospital in the month of December, and a lot of them were having this disease, particularly. And the same person, after a few months, might get a few other diseases. Those things you can predict. You can send an SMS to that patient saying that, hey, my dear patient, you might fall sick. And this is our prediction based on the historical patterns of all the other patients who are similar to you. All the other people who are similar to you have fallen sick, or majority of them who are similar to you have fallen sick because of flu. And we are predicting that you also might be infected with flu. Before that, please come and take some medication. That's prediction. People are doing this as we speak. People are able to forecast how many patients will come to a hospital in each of the specialities, right? How
Okay.
many patients might come to emergency ward, so that you know that what will be the demand, how many patients, sorry, how many doctors or physicians you need to have to, you know, cater to all of these different people who are coming to visit your hospital. So in that way, many possibilities exist.
Okay, sir.
We will share the recording with you. You might want to go through that. I'm certain you'll come to know about a lot of different use cases.
Here, are we not panicking? Won't we be panicking the patient by saying that you may fall sick again and come and get checkup?
There are two ways, ma'am. One is you fall sick and come, I'll give you treatment. One is even before you fall sick, you take some flu medicine or some vaccine, flu shot or something, which will ensure that precaution is better than cure, right? That is what we keep saying in
Like
medicine.
Jyotishi, sir,
Sorry, ma'am.
like the astrologist.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. That is happening by there. So initially there will always be resistance from the patients, from the people. But as and how they figure out that, yeah, these predictions are actually true. They sent an SMS, I ignored it, I fell sick. Now, what they're also doing is these predictions are giving to the doctor when the patient visits. Then doctor will say, I think you got an SMS also that you might fall sick. They're like, yeah, don't ignore.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, doctors and healthcare professionals, thank you so much for joining in. AI is here to stay, so it's always better to embrace it and learn AI skills. And this session, which is recorded, we'll also share with you all and take it to the next level. Thank you so much and all the best for your future and journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you.